We're live with episode 2 of the Dom Joseph podcast. Welcome. We are joined again by Brian Bordonaro. What's going on, Brian?
What's up, guys? I had a lot of fun last week. I'm excited for episode 2.
Yeah, this has actually been I think it's been a week since we've last talked. I think
exactly
a week, about the same time. So you guys heard it here first. Weekly episodes are going to be brought to you guys here on this podcast through SoundCloud and YouTube. We hit a lot of good points last episode talking about health, fitness, college, and just things that were really just kind of hitting with us in general, you know. So what is there anything this week that has really stuck out to you that you really caught your eye since then?
I would say ego.
The ego is a funny thing now that you kind of say that, because we go to a school with 30,000 people. There's 30,000 people walking around, and they're saying, you know, everyone's missing home. I get that, and everyone's upset, but does that mean you get a validation to like mug at someone, and you know, like the resting like bitch face kind of thing? Like, I get it, you know, nobody's happy all the time, nobody's sad all the time, but do you really have to like? I'm one of those people who try to smile at someone when they walk by me, but why do people do that, you think?
I think people are scared to be vulnerable nowadays.
Okay.
I feel like they think that if they're open or they let a stranger in, that they're going to be taken advantage of, which is a really sad thing in the world.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because smiling can be let as a, you know, oh, I'm letting my guard down and I'm having fun, which there's no problem in doing that. That's why most of these people came to the school. I mean, let's be honest, a lot of people don't go to college for college. They go for the parties and the social interactions, I understand that. But, you know, the primary goal is to do that. I don't get why people like shell themselves off. I get there's anxiety, and I get people don't like certain things, and people are still hanging on to, well, this person did this to me, so I'm going to make this person, you know, like that.
Like they add correlation. Like,
yeah,
they think everyone's the same. They'll abuse them the same as someone else has.
Yes.
And they completely lose trust. But I think what people need to realize is everyone's fighting their demons, their own battles. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
And I mean, why not be happy? Why not work together to have a good time on this earth while we're here?
There's nobody in college, in the world, in high school and elementary school that hasn't had a bad day. You know, like we kind of talked about this last episode. You could be Aaron Rodgers, you could be someone famous. They're going to have a shit day too.
Yeah.
Like, just because they have that job doesn't mean they don't go through death of a family member, or they don't go through this. And I understand that that's why people could be really shut offish, but I feel like it's just a lot of people are really insecure about things right now.
Yeah.
Insecurities are a big thing. And it's like, this podcast, I want to talk about what aren't people talking about. People aren't talking about insecurities. People aren't talking about what makes them upset at night. People aren't talking about why they put their ego above others. And I don't get why we hide things like this. To give you a story into this aspect, when I first started going to college there in Everett Community College, I had, you know, there was a lot of stuff going on in my life at the time. And I said, you know what? I would always be that guy that said, fuck therapy, fuck mental health. And mental health is just a joke. You know, this is being the high school me. And I finally went to a counselor and a therapist. Holy shit, dude. Your whole life changes. Like, I'm not saying everyone should go do it, but like, it really did help me. And I know I just said that, but I do kind of encourage people to go at least talk to someone in that aspect.
No, yeah, I completely agree with you. And I think a lot of it is, we see it in Hollywood and everything, that all these like psychiatrists and stuff like that is only for insane people, like crazy, and nobody views themselves as crazy. So they think that they don't need help. But I mean, everybody has mental issues.
Yes.
I mean, we go through a lot of stress. We go through loss and pain. We all get sad. And sometimes when you bottle that up, that can reflect on your life in a negative way. And just talking to a therapist, working things out, just seeing how your mind works can be super beneficial.
Because I think a lot of people go into the thing of, well, I don't want to be different. And, you know, I get that. there's some things you don't want to be different as people. Like you don't want to be a weirdo or you don't want to be a serial killer. But in the aspect of what people need to learn to be themselves, and that was one big thing I took away from learning more about me in therapy and just growing up. Because I remember when I was younger, I would always want to have everything someone else had. I always wanted to have those red blank toy. I wanted to have the Lightning McQueen toy that everyone else had. But now that I grow up, I'm like, is it really about being like everyone else? It's like, I wish people would embrace saying, this is who I am and this is what I'm about. Instead of like, man, that might be a little weird if I tell them I like playing Destiny. Like when I would always be scared to tell people in high school, yeah, I play Destiny 8 hours a day. Now in college, I'll fucking dude, I was playing Fortnite for fucking 5 hours, man. I had a fucking time of my life. And there's no hesitation.
Yeah.
Before, if there was a girl sitting at the table, I'd be like, yeah, man, I just, I was doing 40 push-ups, That was how I passed fun. But that's not me, and I'm so glad now I'm at a point that I could just say, hey, this is what I'm about.
Yeah, same for me. I've always been scared of what people thought of me. I didn't want to stick out. I didn't want to get made fun of. So, I just conform. I do what everybody else did. I too wouldn't tell people about my video games and things that I was scared people were gonna judge me for. And nowadays, I mean, I look at it now and think, why would I be showing off the fake me?
Yeah.
I want to surround myself with people that like Brian for who I am, and I'm going to show them the real Brian right away. If they don't like me, then good. I found out right away.
Yeah, it's short term. Who's about you. And this, I know you're a business guy. Would you change yourself for a business? Like, would you change yourself for, any business? Probably not. You'd probably stick to your roots, right?
I mean, I believe that I have some core values that I'll never let go, no matter how much money or whatever opportunities the business offers me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure like little things about me, I don't know, maybe I'm not a fan of talking in front of a bunch of people, but like say the company wants me to present in a huge board meeting. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll get past it.
Yeah, and the where I'm going with this is, why change yourself? If you don't change yourself for a business aspect, then why would you change yourself for society? And, like I said, obviously there's some things that you don't change, like there's core values that everyone has. And sometimes those core values can be good, bad, ugly, all those things. But it's just, I just don't get that. And I wish people would say, I'm okay with being who I am. And I'm not saying I am completely whole. I'm not saying I have everything figured out, because I don't. And I'm pretty sure nobody does, but right now there's a lot of things people aren't talking about, and just really being afraid to fuck up too is a big thing. There's nothing wrong with fucking up at the age of 18. Man, dude, I fucking took this job opportunity and it didn't happen when I was 19. Dude, you still have, what is the average life expectancy? 63 years old?
I have no idea.
You're not even halfway there yet, dude. You got nothing to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish people would go, man, he's right. I do have things to not worry about. And like I said last episode, there's a lot of people looking at you with a good head of like light. Your brothers look at you in a great way. Your mother looks at you in a great way. Let that light motivate you, rather than Sassy Pants 63 on Twitter commenting on your post saying, "Oh, you're ugly." Don't let that get to you.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm guilty of this too, but I mean, it kind of blows my mind, because it's a fact that humans aren't perfect. We all make mistakes, so why are we so scared to make the mistakes? Especially when mistakes are usually like the biggest part of the learning process.
Yeah, that mistakes are the learning process. I've learned things from either great things from people I've been with in my life for a significant amount of time, whether that be a family member, a friend, a relationship. I've learned great things from, and even if that thing was a bad thing, say the relationship or the friendship or the family relationship didn't end up going too well, I can at least say and go, you know what? Even through all the shit, I did learn something from that. Because I know there's friendships in 5th grade that, wow, I never got their contact after they took my 64 pack of markers. But you know what? Like, I learned not to give my 64 pack of markers to that person over the summer, and you can use your markers as any way you want. Because, you could give certain things, our markers, as anything. And that's exactly the point. You learn from it, whether it be good or bad. And it's just, what do you think about people that do that? Just So at some point, you got to stick up for yourself and say, this is what I've learned in the past, and apply it to the future.
Well, in my past, especially when I was younger, I always grew up trying to be perfect.
Yeah.
And I think part of this was growing up with two older brothers. We were always competing. I never wanted to make a mistake, and that made me really self-conscious growing up, actually. I was scared to raise my hand in class to answer a question. I was scared in sports that I was going to fall or drop the ball or something and get laughed at. And that really consumed my life for a long time. And honestly, my like awakening, what made me feel like I was truly myself, is when I got out of a relationship, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned from that lesson, and that's when I truly understood that mistakes, or I don't want to say that that relationship was a mistake. I don't mean it like that.
Yeah.
But things that hurt, that cause pain, have benefits. You have to look at the bright side, and you have to learn from things. So later on in the future, you know not to make that mistake anymore.
Yeah, going to the sibling thing. I know I have one brother, and that taught me a lot throughout life anyway. And you being the youngest, I never had that experience of having that, but I did have older cousins, and they taught me a shit ton too, because there's times I never wanted to fuck up in front of them.
Yeah.
You know, or I didn't want to dribble the ball wrong. I still don't. Even when I play with them at open gym, I still don't want to fuck up. And it's so cool to see that in any relationship you could learn, even if it's something as little as, wow, I don't want to raise my hand because, like you said, with your siblings, you don't want to come across as dumb, or you don't want to come across as like that. And
Yeah.
I get it 100%. It's so far deep rooted, and I feel like that is what stems most of these insecurities, is that it stems so far back to a place we can't even really find. And that's what talking to someone about this does. So, like, you know, going to the point of being alone can go as far back as when you were a baby and you were put down in a crib and you were scared. That could come all the way to the age of 21 where you're like, damn, dude, I don't like to be home alone, because it reminds me of times I was crying and on my own. It could go as far back as being in a crib.
Mm-hmm.
People need to realize that it's okay to be alone. And I've slowly figured out, and I'm still struggling with living on my own apartment right now, because living with you guys in Pullman, and then moving out and living with an ex-girlfriend of mine, I learned a lot of things. And now that I'm on my own, it's taught me so much, even in these 3 months.
And personally, being alone for me, I used to hate it.
Yeah.
Because also with my brothers, again, we were friends. We always hung out together. I was always with other people. And my freshman year of college, I lived in a dorm by myself. All my close friends were on the other side of campus, and I hated it. I felt like there's no one to talk to. I got bored really easy. But then after a while, once I started getting used to it, I enjoyed it, and I love my alone time now. It's really therapeutic for me.
It is it's super really therapeutic. I almost just said, it's super therapeutic. You know, you look at it and you could say, wow, you know, I didn't I didn't make my bed this morning, but who cares? You know, that's on you. You know, you didn't do your laundry. That's on you. And I know those are little things, but those stem to big things too. Like, you're on your own, and it's up to you. It's not up to your brothers to do the chores anymore. It's not up to your mom. And I'm not saying that you ever did that, but I'm just saying there's some people who moved into a place on their own, and it's an awakening to be able to do their own laundry now.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Like you said, even though it seems like small things, that's an important skill to have for the future. I mean, one day you're going to own your own house.
Yeah.
You're going to have to take care of your lawn. You're going to have to do all your dishes. And
Yeah, because say you get married to someone and you guys move in together, and you're like, I don't know how to do dishes. You know, like, thank God we have that. Like, obviously it's on TV and there's ways you can look it up. But like, if you don't know some of those firsthand things, it's really weird to admit that you don't. Because I know there's a lot of people in college who won't admit that they can't boil water. It's like, dude, you don't have to always use the hot water thing on the gallon thing. You know, you could boil the water. What? You know, that's what some people really don't think. There's other ways to cook ramen than that way. I'm not barshing or badging on anyone who does it that way, but there is other ways to cook certain things, and there's other ways to do every other type of thing. But another thing I wanted to talk about, another thing people aren't talking about, is just really having that conversation with the person that's holding them back. And what I mean by this, I've seen this on a lot of YouTube videos. This is not a Dom Joseph original thing. But a lot of people want to become something that their parents want them to be, or their friends want them to be, or they have pressure by everyone to do it. Like, say, for instance, say if I were to tell all my friends I want to be a rapper, they're all going to support me, and then maybe 2 years into it, I don't like it. And just because they're all kind of pressuring me into do it, I'm going to do it. I wish people didn't have that stress, It's really... It's a lot of luggage to carry, and like I would understand like if it's even to someone as close as your mom.
Yeah, I mean it's easy for us to just say just don't do it.
Yeah,
but I mean when it's someone that you love, that you care about a lot, you don't want to let them down, and I felt that before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nobody wants to let down their mom. No one wants to let down their auntie or grandpa or anything. And as soon as you start feeling that way, just tell that person. I don't know who's going to be listening to this, but if you're going through that, have the conversation with that person. And like I was telling Brian before the show, easier said than fucking done, dude. I know it's hard as fuck to sit down and tell your mom, hey, I don't like doing this, and I know you've been paying for college for this long, but don't let that, hold you back, or maybe use that skill to do something you do like. Maybe you don't like business communication, but you like business, the structure and the money of it. Turn it into that, I'm not an advice guy, but I can let you know these do hold some people back.
Yeah, and for the people that are getting held back, like we said, easier said than done, but you really should make that push. I mean, it's not selfish to do that at all. Like you should take care of yourself. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. And I remember my freshman year in high school, I was in band because my parents wanted me to do it. They loved it. They loved going to concerts and all this stuff, but I hated it. I wanted to play sports. That's all I cared about. And I had to sit down with them and tell them that I had no passion in it anymore. And at first they didn't like it, but I mean, they accepted it, and everything's good now, and I'm not in band.
Yeah, you're not one of the band guys, and hell, you're very talented still with the saxophone. I've heard you play. But no, another thing to apply that to my story, when I was younger, I'd always tell my mom I want to be a doctor and all this, and then biomed was a thing that happened in Marysville, like, oh, go to biomed then. And I remember when we were choosing classes, and, I kind of fell into the peer pressure of wanting to hang out with my friends and stuff, and I was really into editing and kind of voice and music and making videos and all that. And I was like, Mom, I don't want to go to biomed. And it kind of sucked to be like, I don't want to. And I know she was kind of upset, but she's like, hey, I'd rather you be happy than me force you into doing it. And it was kind of like that with sports. I'm kind of upset she let me quit sports so early because I know I would have been better. But my mom was one of those people who, and I'm eternally grateful. My auntie was like this too. My auntie did nothing but support me, my grandpa, and all my family. But I wish, everyone had that structure, because it really is such a headache to know, wow, they don't mind if I do what I like to do.
Yeah, having that support system just throughout life.
Yeah.
You just always feel like someone has your back.
Yeah, it's super cool. And speaking of having people behind your back too, when you said you're so used to having people in your family, in your house, if I could stem and ask, how were family vacations for you? Because I know those always have some like core like funny story, bad story. What were your family vacations like?
They're basically the same thing every time, where the first day or two we're all having fun, and then we get sick of each other.
Yes,
we start fighting and bickering, and then on the last day or last 2 days, all of a sudden we're having fun again.
I did the same thing. We actually went to San Diego with one of my aunties, and what happened, I think I've told you this story. Me and my brother were goofing around, and there's a beach full of people. It was like 80 degrees out, San Diego Beach, and my brother punks me. And when your little brother punks you, you're pretty upset. And the whole beach saw and was laughing. There's probably like 60 people there. I was putting on my shirt, and he tackles me, like hit sticks me, like hardcore. And I was actually kind of shocked, because I was like, this guy doesn't really tackle me that often. And everyone was laughing. I get up, and I'm just pissed. Like, I could tell my face was probably super red. and he, has to put his shirt back on. So I'm like, oh, I'm getting this fucker, man. I'm going to tackle this guy so hard. And it was like, a minute after he puts the shirt on, and I take this as like a goal line stand tackle. Like it's like the quarterback and no one but me. And I just lay this guy out as hard as I could. Like I wasn't even being nice because I was so pissed off. And I, tackled this guy, and he starts crying instantly. And my mom said, she's like, I swear to God, I heard a pop in his arm, and I thought you broke his arm. And I didn't break his arm. He was just crying. And everyone looked around me like I was the biggest dickhead. My mom fucking kicked me in the back, and I almost felt like people were cheering. No, I don't know how hard she kicked me. It wasn't even, it was like, you're an asshole kind of kick, not like a really. And then when we got in the car, oh my God, I've never been yelled at more in my life than my mom.
Damn.
It was a shit time, but it was a really fun vacation for the first 2 days.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that was the middle of the vacation.
I have a story of a event with me and my brother that went bad during a vacation. So we were on a road trip in Japan, and we stopped at like this rest stop that like overlooked the water. So it was just cool to look at. So we all got out of the car, but right before I got out, my brother was behind me. I put the child lock on, closed it, and you couldn't crawl through the front. So he was stuck in the car, and everyone just kept walking. They didn't turn around. They didn't see Matt, and he's banging on the window. Hey, someone unlock it. Fuck you, Brian.
What?
And my other brother, Chris, I told him about it, and we were just sitting there laughing at him while he was banging on the window. And finally, my mom was like, wait, where's Matt? And we didn't tell her for like 5 minutes, but finally let him out. And I mean, that was a good story, but my brother got me back, and this is where it takes a turn. We were going, there were like these ice caves,
Okay.
a giant tourist attraction. And right before we got there, my brother like takes off the cap of his bottle and like leans it over, but like just enough to where like barely any water was coming out, so I couldn't feel it. And he just poured it all over my crotch. And by the time I saw, like, it was everywhere. So I had to walk into the ice caves with all these tourists looking like I peed myself.
Was it like khakis too?
Yeah, it was
oh,
khakis.
No.
Yeah. And my mom didn't do anything because I deserved it. And yeah, I did deserve it.
There was justice, your mom said. She's like, well,
Yeah.
you kind of fucking deserved it. What's your other brother doing? Is he just laughing his
he's
ass
just
off?
laughing the whole time. Yeah, he was egging it on.
He's probably like, fuck yeah, I'm not involved. that having family vacations are super fun.
Yeah.
And they, like we said, they can have funny stories. And obviously I've had great and fantastic times. And my mom's gotten married on a couple, on a vacation. I've seen marriages, and very fun things have come from it. But it always feels like it sticks with you with the bad stories, because I know my auntie really get upset with me probably telling this story. But we went to Vegas one time, and my brother was being kind of a little brat, and my mom was already kind of having a bad day, and just the stars aligned for it to be kind of a bad day. We all just got out of the airport, and they were just at the table, and my auntie said something to my brother, and just little things, and then all of a sudden everyone's like out of the restaurant, and I was like, oh my God. And it was during my birthday, and I was like, I can't believe this happened on my birthday. Like all this hatred and all this, like, we're a family and we're still trying to like hate on each other. But like I said, like bad things teach you things. And, and like I kind of said, I was like, what I wish for my birthday is for me to just kind of have a relaxing day. And I did kind of have a relaxing day because I was on my own. So, it was kind of relaxing. So I can kind of thank them for that. But no, leading into the family thing, I know school was a big part of mine and my brother's life. We would go to school, wake up, and we'd look at each other in the morning and say, like, fuck, man, this sucks. We all had that common enemy of school is tomorrow. And I know school is a big thing. Did you learn anything from a teacher that still sticks with you today?
I wouldn't say like necessarily on like the curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
But like character value wise,
yeah, character wise.
I had this teacher. His name's Mr. Kessler.
Mm-hmm.
He was my AP US history teacher, and then later on he was my debate teacher. And to this day, I still see him. We go to a Mariners game once every summer. Just me and a group of guys go with him. And honestly, I want to be like him. His values are so good. He cares about his students, nice to everybody, and really that teaches kids that you should grow up like that. You should be like him. You should support the community like he does, and I'm grateful for him. I will always be grateful.
Someone like that you look at and you just say, wow, like you just said, I'm so thankful for someone like this. And my person is probably my senior year basketball coach. His name is Marlon. And he, it wasn't really like the drills or, going to practice is necessarily what I really learned. There's many other teachers I could say learned, but this is the one that sticks with me the most. And he sat us down on the first day of practice. And he's like, because this is, we went from a tribal school. There's a lot of people who were getting into trouble in any high school. And he sat us down. He's like, do you guys really think that this is all about basketball? And everyone's like, well, yeah, this is what tryouts are for, duh, And he's like, the reason why we want you guys on the team so bad and the reason why we push for these varsity sports is because we would rather you be here on your nights than out in the real world hurting yourselves. And that really sticks with me because now I look at varsity sports like, wow, varsity sports are, and JV and C team are keeping people out of trouble. And I never really saw it like that because, when you go to, you go to school from 8 to 2, then you have practice from 3 to 5, or maybe you have practice from 5 to 7. You can't really do much hoodlum stuff. You know what I mean?
Or you're too tired.
You're too tired. Like, hey, man, you want to go tag the train tracks or something? You're like, dude, I just got out of practice. I want to go home, eat, go to bed. Like, it really stuck to me. And I think that's what I really took away from senior year is how much appreciation I had for organizations that people put on for high schoolers and even college, because the same thing you could say for D1 students. Like, it's keeping them out of trouble too. They have a schedule they have to keep track of, and that really impacted my life in learning about who I am and what basketball and football did for me. Did football or basketball ever do that for you, where like you had a structure? It gave you structure.
Well, I wouldn't think I'd ever get into hoodlum stuff back then. I was a goody two-shoes throughout school, but what football did teach me, and not just football, but also training for it, like in the weight room and stuff like that, is it taught me dedication. It taught me to work for my goals, and that hard work pays off. And that's something that I take in, not just for physical activities, but like school and building my own character, just bettering myself as a person. I know that hard work will in turn make me the best I can possibly be.
Yeah. Did high school, what was your high school like? Because I know obviously our high schools were obviously pretty similar because we went to similar high schools. And I know there's drama, there's cliques, and it's all the stereotypes you think of aren't as exactly exaggerated. I didn't really see too much like people pushing the people in the lockers and saying, yeah, nerd. I didn't really see that, but like I saw it in context of cliques and things like that. What was it like at your school precisely?
Yeah, like you're saying with the stereotypes, I think it's just a watered down version of
it.
So, I mean, it's not as appealing as like Hollywood makes it seem like, but yeah, it was really cliquey. A lot of unnecessary drama. People were getting upset about things that didn't really matter. But I also do think there were some good things about MP. I think we were actually, at least my class was pretty inclusive. I mean, when you think of high school, you think that the douchebag jocks and stuff like that are the kings of the school. But in my school, I feel like all the popular kids, in quotation marks, they were all nice.
Really?
Yeah, they were pretty good about including everybody.
It was cooler to be nice, almost in a way.
Yeah, it was almost, it's backwards of what you would think.
Huh? Because I would that makes sense though, because it's easier to be nice than to be the varsity quarterback. You know what I mean?
Well, but even then, like our varsity quarterback, shout out to Eric if you're listening to this. But yeah, he was super nice guy, hung out with everyone as well.
That's awesome. But I have to obviously go into this too. Obviously everyone has like a big thing that happened in high school. Ours was Heritage. We had a lot of like fights, people just talking to people's girlfriends and stuff like that. Those STEM fights, and Getcho had some fights too. And did you guys ever had like one, like in particular, thing that really stood out? You're like, God damn, dude, like this is only an MP thing. How did this happen? This is way too blown out of proportion.
There's two things.
Okay.
The first one was we had an assembly.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember exactly how this started because it was a dumb story. There was no reason for the fight, but it was an assembly and some kids were upset that the ASB kids weren't including everybody in the assembly.
Oh gosh.
But the problem with the issue was that this assembly was meant to recognize the athletes of the season, things like that.
Yeah, it was like a pep rally, right?
Yeah, like you had to be in the sport to be recognized, but these people were upset because they weren't recognized.
The ASB wasn't. The ASB was upset.
No, the people that weren't in ASB.
Oh, okay.
They were upset at ASB because
Okay.
they kind of ran the assemblies. So there was just this giant social media war. I knew a person that yelled at someone else in their face and she started crying, things like that. So that was the first one.
Okay. So that I'll put that as number one.
The second one, I'm not gonna lie, I'm the one who started.
Okay.
it.
So we have some insider news here.
I just want to say I'm sorry.
This is
everyone in my high school. I'm guilty of this, and I'm disappointed in myself. But
this is a place of compassion, Brian. I'm glad that you're able to say this now.
So
Nobody was perfect.
I don't want to get into
Nobody
too
is.
much detail.
Okay.
But basically, how it started was me and my friend. We like to make fun of each other a lot, you know, all in good fun until this instance. But I created a thing on social media that was making fun of him, and it caused a divide in our school, and it was
A divide. How
yes.
many people are we talking? Whole school?
No, not whole school.
Senior class?
Senior class.
That's
I
a
would
lot of
say
kids.
probably like 30, 15 on each side probably. This is
Okay.
just a guess. Yeah.
Okay.
And basically it was 15 people attacking me and my group of people, saying that I was being an asshole, which is true.
Okay. And you're
But-
able to admit that now. I'm guessing back then
Yeah.
you weren't.
Well,
Right?
even back then,
You were like,
I
okay.
knew I was being an ass. But and still this day, even though I was guilty, I still think the other side was guilty too. And
You could have handled it better on both sides.
what it was, though, was they were being hypocritical, where they were saying that I was this bully, that I was such a bad person, but they were bullying.
You.
Well, but like not even after that. Like, I'm not gonna name any names, but they were mad at me for making fun of my friend. This one kid was saying that to me online, but this kid was making racist jokes about me like a year before that. So we pulled that tweet up, and then he blocked us and deleted all his tweets.
He was awfully quiet after that one. He went to bed pretty early, huh?
Yes, he did.
God, hypocrites, or something I know I've done before. I can't give you a whole spiel about it and tell you what I'm a hypocrite about. But there's a lot of things in high school that a lot of people try to turn their backs on. Like, dude, you don't realize that you just tweeted something like 2 days ago that I could pull up. Like, it's just like we said last time. Twitter is a diary, and if your
man.
diary's online, people could look that shit up in a heartbeat. You know, like all these college football players. Like, oh, well, you tweeted this.
Yeah,
I
when
was
he's
10.
10.
I was 10 when I said that. Like, dude, like people need to realize, like, got to be careful what you post online.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even in this podcast, you got to be careful for what you're saying. You know, but even in anything, you have to be. People think it's free to say whatever you want, but you got to worry about the other people who are going to take it, because if it's in a text form, people are going to interpret it way wrong.
Oh yeah, they have no context.
Way
at all.
wrong. Have you ever been in a situation where you've said something in a text and someone totally took it the other way, or you took it the other way?
I don't think anything like drastic, but
Yeah.
but I've seen it.
Yeah, or you're like, damn, dude, you're being an asshole. They're like, I just said okay.
Yeah. Oh
You know,
yeah.
like-
Yeah. That all the time. Whenever someone texts me K,
Yeah.
like my mom,
Yep.
she always says K, and every time she says that to me, I go, damn, is my mom mad at
You
me?
just
And
got K'd by your mom.
and then I have to
Potassium.
realize my mom doesn't realize that in our
Yes.
the younger generation that we take that as like almost aggressively, like K.
So what do you take more? What do you take more offense to? Because I had a conversation in my anthropology class about this. I had you had to have a poll question, and this was my poll question. What do you take more offense to? Okay with a period, K, or K with a period? Which one really strikes you? I know that's really weird to put in a context, but which one, like, are you like, fuck, dude, I fucked up?
I would say probably okay with the period.
How come the okay with a period?
Well,
I kind of
okay.
like weirdly studied this, so I'm really interested to see what you're thinking.
Okay, I think the period definitely makes it worse.
'Kay.
So that's one thing. I would say K is worse than okay, but some reason K with a period looks weird to me. So
Yeah.
to me, I don't know why that throws it off for me. But okay period is like, damn, they're serious. Like they're actually pissed.
Dude, you fall into like the 90%. Like this question I asked, that's
Really?
what everyone said, and I totally agree too. If I were like I said, I thought I was the weird one for thinking this because I thought everyone would say the K with the period.
Yeah,
but it's weird because it looks a little different. Like you're like, oh well, it's just
like
know,
one letter and then a
maybe they're
period.
just
Yeah.
trying to be cute or something, But okay, it's like they pressed an extra letter, so that you got the O, and then the K, and then they're like, oh, fuck it. So they went all the way down to the alt sign right next to the space bar. And they went to the right to the okay, and they fucking looked at it with a smug ass look too.
Oh yeah.
They're all, boom. You know what? They typed okay. No, this is what they did. They typed okay. Well, that's fine. Deleted the that's fine. Couple clicks like, and they're like,
You know what? I'm gonna add the period.
yep. And they go, oh shit. Okay, it's just blank. Period. Send. And that's how it went.
Well, God, I wish it wasn't that way though.
No.
Because there's a lot of times where like I'm busy or like I'm in class or something and someone tells me something and I genuinely want to just say okay, but I have to go OKAY instead of just K, just to make sure they know I'm not mad at me. Because if I did push K, I know I'm gonna have to send another text saying, "No, dude, I'm not mad. I'm just busy right now."
I've even come into the part of getting upset when I don't get a response, and that's horrible because I'll be like, "Hey, let's go hang out," and I know they see it, and that's what makes me mad. Like some people got Apple Watches now, some people got like messages where they're never away from their phone, or I'll be with someone who I know is always on their phone, like my brother, and I'll text them and I know it's in their fucking hand, and they're ignoring me, and I don't get why I get so upset. I'm like, why do I feel like they have to surrender their life to say, funny meme, Dom? Like,
but in a way though, I kind of get why you get mad. It would be like if someone, like if you asked me a question and I just walked away.
Yeah.
And I didn't even give you the respect of just replying and saying no.
Plays into ego.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I get it. It's different if they're busy, but if they're actually on their phone and they don't reply, just say no.
Yeah. Or just not even just be like, yo, bro, I'm busy. I get that,
Yeah.
Hey, I will get back to you. I'll call you right after.
Well, I think part of it too is people, they'd rather not reply because to them saying no to their friends or their brother or whatever is insulting. But it shouldn't be. I mean, we live busy lives. We're doing our own thing. Sometimes we don't have time.
We live in a place now in this era. I can't really say I lived in the era where there was no phones because my social life really kind of started happening as soon as like the T-Mobile Sidekick was out. So everyone kind of had the phone,
Yeah.
My auntie got me one of those, and bless her heart, because I thought I was the coolest person ever. But, the thing is, back then, this is what would happen. My mom would tell me things like this. Say we're in the 90s, I'd call you, or we would make a plan in class. Yo, Brian, we're going to go to the mall, and we're going to meet right by the fountain next to Cinnabon. And you would be there at 5. And there would be no hesitation. You'd be there at 5, I'd be there at 5, and then we'd go out and have a cool time, whatever.
Yeah.
Now,
not gonna lie to you, I would probably leave at 5. And
but
when you text me, where you at? I would say, oh, sorry, bro, stuck in traffic.
Boom. See? And, like, that's what it is now. Like, so say we were to do that now. this is what's gonna happen. Because I know people have done this. I can say I've done it. I'm not innocent. You go, all right, Brian, we're still on for Cinnabon at 5. Yeah, see you then. Come 4:30. 4:30 rolls around. Brian goes, man, this girl really wants to hang out with me, but Dom wants to hang out. I told him I'd hang out last week. You know what I'll do? Just say I'm sick. Instead of just saying, hey, man, I'm going on a date.
Well, I've never actually thought about it. That's such a good point.
Yeah.
Though. Like, people didn't flake back then.
No, nobody flaked back
Nobody
then.
was late and nobody flaked.
Nope. Now, it's because people now, in this generation, this era, this time period, this year, there's always something better going on. And we're in constant communication with everyone. You go on a vacation in Hawaii, 10 years ago, I'd want to hear everything about it. Now I'm like, oh, fucking, I don't really mind. And this comes from, I don't remember where I heard this. I think it was a comedy special, that people flake now. And I was like, holy shit, people do flake nowadays. And it's super fucking, I don't get it.
Like I'm guilty of it.
I mean, very, very guilty.
I'm sure everyone's guilty at this point, but I'd like to say, at least I personally feel like compared to other people, I don't flake as much. I try my best because that is one of my biggest pet peeves is flaking. Like I'm okay if you show up late.
Yeah.
But flaking, that just shows me that I wasn't worth the effort, you know?
Yep. Just know they definitely thought about it. And that's what makes me kind of upset. But then there is sometimes where they're like, hey, his fucking fish died, or like actually something happened where I'm like, okay, cool.
No, that yeah.
But you don't gotta lie.
There's a difference between something actually coming up, or maybe you actually do start feeling sick.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be going out.
It's just like, you don't gotta lie to me too. That's another thing. Like if you really just don't want to go, you don't gotta not respond. Just be like, hey man,
I will respect you 100% more.
Yeah.
If you're straight up with me, even if you're saying no, or I just don't want to hang out.
Yeah, you're like, Dom, I don't like fucking Cinnabons, bro. I'm going out with this girl that day.
I don't think anyone would say that.
Instantly, I go, Brian don't want to hang out. Boom, I can go figure out what I'm going to do now.
Yeah.
Instead of like totally being obsessed with it.
The last second flake is the worst.
The last second one's the worst.
I'm ready to go, I'm all dressed up. Getting in my car. Oh, bro. Sorry, man. Just can't make it. My car just broke down.
Oh, I'll pick you up.
Oh,
you don't get it, bro. I got this condition.
I moved, actually.
You moved?
Don't even try to find my house.
It's weird because I saw on your girlfriend's snap you drove to her house pretty fine. That's not my car.
No, bro. I walked, but I'm home now.
It's green screen.
Yeah.
It's snap filters, bro. They're crazy. It's this era, dude. And I know I complain about people our age all the time, and I act like I'm not one of them, but I am. I flaked, and let me tell you too. On the other side of flaking, it kind of sucks too, and it sucks, and you deserve it.
Wait, are you saying
flaking on someone sucks?
Oh,
like you feel like
you're
a
not
dick.
showing up. Okay, yeah, it does suck.
Because I know there's situations too where you don't want to give everyone the whole exclusion. Say for instance, in an example where you're hanging out with someone and it kind of like goes longer than you thought it would. That is usually the main source of me flaking. Like say I was like, hey, I'm just hanging out at my Nana's house, and I only thought I was going to have dinner there and, just to hang out for a little bit. And then I'm like, damn, dude, I really liked hanging out with my Nana that day. And then you're there till like 10:30. And then, you're supposed to go out at 10 and you're like, hey man, sorry, I'm just really hanging out with this person that I really like to hang out with, but I get it. It's rude, you know? I get it 100%.
Then jumping from that, there's also the other side where you have a plan with someone else and then someone asks you to hang out beforehand. And then even though you tell them like, hey, I have plans at 8, I have to leave by then, I still feel like a dick when I go. Especially when we're having a good time, and then I just have to cut it short and go, I have to head out, man, to hang out with another friend. And then they go, oh, okay.
You're real friends.
Yeah,
huh?
Exactly.
That's the number one.
I feel bad, but it's like, if I stayed with him, then I'm flaking on the other friend.
Yep.
And, pick your poison.
Yeah. Another thing is to tie into flaking is that people, like I said, it's a generation where there's always something going on. There's always something air quotes, better going on.
Yeah.
So say me and you were hanging out and Thomas just said, yo, man, you got to get down here. There's crazy shit going on down here. And then I'm like, damn, I want to go check it out. But then I don't want to be a dick. And some people go, hey, man, I got to go. And that's when it's like, okay, that's fucked up. Like you just had this plan all week and then like, there's like a chicken crossing the road and you really want to go check that out that bad? God.
That's messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's flaking for you, man. To all the people listening, I apologize if I've ever done that to you. And I'm calling you out if you've ever done it to me. I don't know who you are, but I know there's someone out there who's at least, stood me up a couple times.
I too would like to apologize, and I would like to believe that the times that I did flake was for good reason.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple times I think I could say they were bad reasons.
Yeah, I'm sure I've had a couple bad ones.
Or the times where you're just like, I just don't want to get up. Is that okay? Yeah. Is that bad? Not wanting to go and not saying.
I mean, I think that's better
than not going and like not saying
yeah.
anything.
Yeah, I think that's better. But actually, my biggest flake that I do.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I do it that often, but maybe I do. But a lot of times I fall asleep.
Oh.
And then I wake up
2 hours.
Yeah, and then I tell them, "Oh, sorry, man, I fell asleep." And part of me feels like they don't believe me, but I swear, anyone listening to this, if I said
you
that,
actually fell asleep.
I don't think I've ever said, "Sorry, man, I fell asleep" when I was awake.
That's some truth. That's some truth right there. I'm glad you're able to tell the truth on this podcast. That's what this is about. Falling asleep on someone, I feel like a lot of people do. I feel like you're not in the minority of that.
Well, I mean, in our age,
or maybe
too,
some people just tell me
I
that.
feel like a lot of us have bad sleep schedules.
Yeah.
So that doesn't help.
Do you think that plays into a part of people being on their phones till 1 a.m?
Yes. I think the screen time, for one, just looking at lights, it's hard for your body to fall asleep. And then on top of that, you keep wanting to watch more and more YouTube videos or Netflix.
YouTube is they're addicting.
Oh, I am addicted.
I will definitely watch, and I'll watch the weirdest shit. I'll watch chiropractor videos.
Dude, I was watching that like last week.
No way. I'll watch one of those, and then I'll go, man, you know what, man? I really want to look into why this Kid Cudi song said this word. And then it'll be like a Genius thing, a Genius, whatever the band, their channel is. Mm-hmm. He said this because of this. And then I'm like, oh, well, what does that mean? I'm like, and then how are jelly beans made? And then I'm watching a 44-minute video of how jelly beans are made. And then I'm like, it's 2 a.m. And I'm like, I could either watch another 44-minute video of how Tootsie Rolls are made, or I can go to bed. And I usually pick the video, sadly.
Well, because personally for me, this is I don't know if you feel the same way. This is for me, but when it's super late or like early, I guess like 2 a.m. and I go, damn, I'm going to be tired tomorrow. A lot of times I just say, I'm fucked anyways.
Yep.
Might as well watch a Tootsie Roll video.
Fuck it. Man, I know I use technology as a scapegoat a lot. You know. But it's really one thing I could really blame some of the things I'm guilty of doing.
Well, I mean, it defines our generation.
Yeah. Because think of it this way. When the radio first came out, it took about 15 years for it to reach 70% of the country or the world. Mm-hmm. And then it took, internet, no, not internet, TV to strike a lot of people for a long time because you got to get the TV and the cable.
It's expensive.
Now, look at it like this. Internet has taken what? How many?
It's same day. Something comes out and everyone has it.
Yes.
Because you could just download it.
It's insane how fast that.
I talked about this in class like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
3 days ago.
It's scary fast how fast the internet is moving. And, I look at Twitter and I look at Instagram and I look at Pinterest, Tumblr. People are going to look at this stuff and they're going to be like, this is barbaric. Mm-hmm. Isn't that weird to think?
That blows my mind.
Like,
I mean, we look at MySpace and it looks like ancient history.
Yeah.
I can't talk.
Yeah.
Hieroglyphics.
You even look at the old Snapchat updates that were, 6 months ago? You're like, damn, Snapchat was really dumb, man.
I forgot what old Snapchat looks
like.
I just know that it's better.
Yeah. Remember the blue? Did you have Snapchat early 7th grade?
No.
It was blue. It had like a blue front, and you couldn't send videos. And I remember one of the biggest updates for when I first got it was when you could first start adding music to your snaps, because I fucking do that all the time. And it was huge. And now it's crazy that I'm going to be looking at Instagram and saying, wow, this is like old. Because right now it's hip. It's Instagram's king right now. I think.
I'd agree.
Yeah. It's more of a healthy environment than I say Twitter would be.
Twitter's a dark place.
I'm
man.
not saying Twitter's horrible, but I haven't been on it in a long time, so I can't give you my full opinion. But I know Twitter is one of those things, like, a lot more people I feel like are happier. Maybe it's the lighting, maybe it's the color scheme, maybe it's, it's pictures.
Personally, for me, I like to use Twitter for, like, news and funny pictures and stuff like that. Well, on Instagram, I actually like to follow people that I care about.
Yeah, it's more of a personal connection.
Yeah, I guess seeing them compared to just seeing words is a lot more personal.
Oh yeah, that would make a lot more sense. Say I was to follow someone famous and they're tweeting some dumb shit, I'd be like, damn, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
But Instagram, it's kind of hard to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you look at their lifestyle, you're like, oh, that's cool. You just like it, and then you move on.
I wish I was him.
Yeah, that's all you really do, and that's what we talked about last week. It's really sad.
Yeah.
In some aspects, it is great and it's king and all, but it definitely does bring some sadness.
Yeah.
A lot of technology does that though. A lot of advancements too.
We've talked about technology a bunch over the 1.5 podcasts we've been through so far. I know this is a big question and a hard one, but overall, would you say that technology, or not technology, but like social media, do you think overall, would you say it's good or bad, or would you say you couldn't determine it?
I would feel like I would put it right in the middle. I couldn't really tell you. There's a lot of bad things like we talked about last week. There's a lot of bad things that happen. There's a lot of things that people are dealing with issue-wise. But there's also a lot of things that's done good for, because I know there's a guy I watch his podcast on, and that's the way Facebook is the way he gets a hold of his parents in another country, and that's super cool.
Yeah.
But then you look at another thing about social media, and this is kind of a rant too. Social media has almost made it so people can find their clique or their mob in a way. They're weird mobs in ways, and so say you're like, all right, I'm team against whoever. You could use any football team, basketball team. And it's like they get into this group, and it's like they're a mob. You get into like Reddit, you go and say, hey, man, I'm not a Ravens fan, but, I don't like you guys. It's like you're sticking up to a mob, it feels like. And they come at you with their pitchforks, their dislikes, they're sharing, they're blocking you, they're spamming you. And that's a bad thing, I would say. It makes it easier for people to find these bad groups and gang up on people. But it also brings a lot of good things, like, in Facebook group chats, like, in local communities. If I would say, hey, in the Pullman group chat or the Pullman group, I'd say, hey, I really need someone to take over apartment lease, or I need someone to watch my dogs. It's able to do that, and that's thanks to social media. So I really don't know, but I feel like I would lean towards the bad side. But I enjoy it. It's given me a lot of – I love it.
I would agree with you. I think it slightly leans towards the bad side. I think if society uses it the right way, though.
Yes, in moderation.
Yeah, in moderation, we didn't let it completely absorb our lives. And I think part of it is because we are the first generation, like, with it. Our parents couldn't really, guide us to, like, you shouldn't care this much about likes or whatever. Like, it's the new hip thing. So we all just like dove headfirst into it, and we gave too much importance on it.
It's hard not to care about likes.
Oh yeah, well,
it's hard.
It feels good.
It feels good. And like
I'm not that big of a social media guy, but I still like it. I mean,
Yeah.
not enough to where I post all the time, but
yeah,
I mean, it's validation.
it's dangerous.
Yeah,
because I mean, like I was telling you last week, I don't treat likes as like something I'm gonna really get upset about, but it's nice. It brings a good feeling.
Yeah.
But
and I mean, I don't think, like, obviously it brings negative effects with it, but I think if people, I mean, you're gonna like likes no matter what.
Yeah.
But if we took out the importance just by a little bit, and we put the importance of like actual human interaction higher up, then I mean, it wouldn't be the healthiest thing in the world, but it'd be healthier than it is now.
Yeah.
And I just personally, I feel like it would help a lot of people with their mental issues.
There's a lot of mental issues that have stemmed from social media. Like we said last week, it's deep stuff. And it's there's not a lot of things that could bring someone down as much as not, having a lot of followers, having a number next to your name. And that sucks, I don't.
Please follow my Instagram.
Yeah, if you guys are listening to this, please go like my last post. It's at a total of X amount of likes, and if you could get it up to that would be fantastic.
I just want 100 like posts on Instagram.
We'll get you that.
So everybody like them.
We'll take care of that. I'll make 80 account. How many likes do you have now?
I have
followers.
No idea.
I don't know how many followers you'll have. I'll make those accounts and I'll get you 100.
Thank you, Dom.
But they might clear it once they clear the bots seasonally. So I'm making it again. But in this other thing I really wanted to bring up was, imagine this, because music has been a huge thing in our life, in everyone's life. Within the music has been soothing to all eras, all generations ever since it started. I bet you back in the cavemans they made beats out of rocks, and the fire cracks of the fire were entertaining. But imagine this. Me and you, we listen to a variety of music, and imagine if we were to bring something back like a dubstep song or
Oh, God.
or just any hip hop or just rap song to the year 1200. What do you think would happen to us?
We'd get stoned.
Yeah, we'd get beheaded, stoned. But it's so crazy to see how fast music has evolved, though.
Yeah.
Even from, not just from our era, but from just a simple opera to what we have, or what they even went to then with guitar. It's so hard.
Do you think Beethoven would approve of 6ix9ine?
Maybe. Not. Maybe not. I thought I had something there, but I don't really think he would, because he's a guy who puts hours into his music and he pours his heart. I'm not saying 6ix9ine don't put his heart into it, but I feel like he puts a little less heart into it than Beethoven did.
Yeah.
Wasn't Beethoven blind?
Deaf.
He was deaf and he made that?
Yes. He just felt the vibrations, dude.
Yeah, I think he probably punched 6ix9ine in the face. I don't know how ripped Beethoven was. Wait, hear me out on this.
Okay, wait. 6ix9ine is 5 feet tall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Beethoven would beat his ass.
Yeah, Beethoven probably beat his ass, but Beethoven probably only ate bread for his diet.
Yeah.
I bet you 6ix9ine only has lean and
lean
Coke.
and crack.
Yeah. So I guess it would probably be a fair fight. Beethoven's hair is probably fake, so he's probably bald. So in the cage fight, that's an advantage. He probably just grab his hair.
6ix9ine's hair is probably fake too at this point.
Yeah, it probably is.
The
Isn't he
rainbow.
in jail?
Yes.
Good. He's a creep.
Yeah, he is.
But we're not going to get into the politics of 6ix9ine. But no, this is a weird question to ask, though. Did they bodybuild in the year 1200? Because I know Rome had these stacked soldiers way back then, but after that, do you think the people in the year 1200 were lifting weights?
I'm scared I'm gonna say something really dumb.
Me too.
And people are gonna, you dumbass.
Yeah,
1200?
dude. Did people have weights in those years, or did they take bodybuilding seriously then?
I mean, it probably wasn't bodybuilding. It probably wasn't down to a science. You need to have this much protein. They probably had no idea about that. They just probably knew if you ran, if you picked heavy things up, push-up. I'm sure they did push-ups or some form of body
definitely
weight
were fucking.
exercise.
They were definitely having sex. That's a form of exercise, I guess. Look at there's people in the world now, so they had something down.
Yeah, but they were back then. I think they were all smaller.
I do really think that, because even in the 1900s, a lot of the houses in the country were built for smaller people. I'm not saying working out makes you taller or anything, but
no, but genetically too.
Genetically,
yeah, we would be the Rock to them.
Yo, that'd be pretty cool. So you're saying I could probably beat up a 1200?
You could
an
probably
average guy
beat up
in
a whole
1200.
army.
One versus all of. I think I probably could too. What do you yeah, so we show up to the year 1200. What in the clothes we're in now, with just our clothes, actually, let's just go on time with just us. What do you think? I mean, I'm wearing a red sweater, Converse, and some pants. In the year 1200, what kind of clothes do you think they had then?
I bet
Cloths.
it was very raggy, very baggy.
Are we the president to them?
Probably.
Are
Yeah,
we?
they'd probably think that we were like kings from a different land.
Yo, what would be the first thing you did? Like,
If
dude,
I was king?
if we just left to the year 1200 and we were put in like a popular ass town, what do we do? Where do we start from there?
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably be an ass, and I would tell
You
them
would be an
that
ass.
I would tell them that I'm an alien from a different planet, or I'm God. If I was an alien, they'd probably kill us.
Yeah, true.
I would probably say I'm God,
Okay.
and I would abuse the shit out of them.
Wow. Wow. You really? If I was with you, I'd probably tell you we shouldn't do that, and I'd say we should get the fuck out of there, because I feel like if someone looked at us and said, "I want those pants," they would probably. Oh, what? They're probably 5 feet tall
but
anyway.
That's why we have to establish that we're gods.
True. And if they touch us, that's a sin.
I'm sure we're smarter than them, so we would be able to trick them somehow by going like.
You know what? I've told Brian this story a million times. People, I'm gonna change this up. Anyone before the year 1000, I'm smarter than. And a lot of people are going to be really upset when I say that. But I really do think I'm smarter than the people 4,000, except for the people who have built ancient monuments, because those people are... No, I'm smarter than them because the aliens fucking built them.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes, they did.
Aliens fucking built them. They don't get a pass. Aliens built the pyramids.
The pyramids, yeah, there's no way.
Although slave power could build crazy amount of things, and I'm pretty sure if you have 200,000 people working on something, you could probably build it. But
it still blows my mind, man.
Ancient monuments blow my mind. What about them makes you most?
The Easter Island ones, dude.
Yep.
The thing that blows my mind about it is like how heavy that shit is. Like a brick from the pyramid or one of the heads that I was just talking about. I mean, I don't know the exact weight, but it's like thousands, man. Like, even if you had thousands and thousands of slaves, like, you got to have a pulley system. I'm sure you got to roll it, or maybe they just carved that shit.
I might have to retract my statement. I don't think I'm smarter than them, but I'm smarter than majority of them. The thing is about ancient monuments, I'm glad we actually brought this up. The thing is about Easter Island, about the pyramids, and about Stonehenge, they're all built on like the same star line. You know that?
I actually didn't know that.
They're all built on the same geographical line. That's fucked up.
Holy shit.
Like, that's like, okay, who was out here?
I got a question for you. Like,
I don't think Easter Island. I think it's Stonehenge and the pyramids.
Okay.
And
but still, that's wild.
Machu Picchu too. And then there's a couple other big monuments that are all in the same line on the world.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
What were you gonna ask me?
I was gonna ask, are you like one to believe in like the conspiracy theories and stuff?
I'm one to believe in aliens for sure. I don't know let me answer your question with a question. What would be more scarier for you if we were the only ones out here, or if we weren't?
I mean, I don't think I could choose one.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as the aliens don't come and like invade us, like it doesn't affect me personally. So like, I mean, I don't want to that was like a dig thing to say. I feel like I just shut down your thing.
Oh, dude, don't worry about it. I don't even remember what I said either.
That I guess it'd be cool to have other aliens, just to, I don't know, to know that there's other beings out there.
I also believe in something too that a lot of people probably wouldn't think of, is that I feel like maybe we might be the only ones out here, but not throughout time. I feel like maybe there's been other planets that have surpassed us, or maybe have gotten farther than us, and the sun ate them up, or a black hole happened, or they got hit by a meteor. Maybe that's happened, or maybe there really fucking is other people out there.
I think there is other. My guess would be just because
there's so many
infinite
stars out there, dude.
It's infinite out there. There's no way there isn't.
Right?
And like, I don't know, people like say like, well, they have to have the perfect conditions of oxygen and water and stuff like that. But what if the aliens don't need
oxygen?
Yeah, I mean, they don't technically have to be like human beings.
Oh, that's fucking weird. Dude.
Yeah, it is weird.
It's like gives me goosebumps thinking about aliens. But to bring it back to the monuments, these people were building these things, and it was a constant thing. Can you imagine if someone said, "All right, we're going to build CenturyLink Stadium, and you're going to get paid nothing
out of rocks.
It's going to be made out of rocks. There's no, you don't get to go home. You're done when we say you're done that day, and people die, and you don't get nothing from it." And it just, you look at that pyramid, you're like, damn, there's legit blood, sweat, and tears that were put into this thing. And I think that's what makes it so powerful. The Easter Island people killed themselves making those. You know that, right?
No.
The whole story of Easter Island, these people from South America were sailing to go to somewhere, I don't remember where, and they came across Easter Island. They're like, oh, this is an awesome island. And they lived there for about 10 years or something like that. I'm just saying 10 years until they started doing something. And they're like, they believed in many gods. And the thing is about these statues is they're called moais. And they were to worship leaders that they had that were the most, the leaders of the time. And whoever had the highest moai was, the best leader.
Yeah.
And some of these things have bodies too. Like under the heads there's a body.
Damn.
But the thing is these people basically deforested their own island. So they put all their effort into these heads and put all their, they would eat, and then they go right to work and fix, and they're like, wait, we don't have any more fucking coconuts. We don't got any more food, but we have these heads. They legit, and they couldn't sail out of the island because it had an inland push.
Oh, shit.
And, you don't have a big old yacht or a big old boat with the motor to get past there unless you have a big, Viking ship. So these people essentially killed themselves by building those. I learned that last year in history, and I was like, damn, that's deep, dude. People were building these fucking monuments out of spite and love for their people and God, and it backfired on them, and it's sad. And you look at the pyramids too. There's probably some sad ass stories to that too.
Oh yeah,
I would guarantee it.
Well, I mean, I feel bad for. I mean, the whole reason for the pyramids is the pharaoh gets buried in the afterlife. They get embalmed and all that. But in their religion, if someone breaks into your tomb and messes with you and your body starts decaying, they decay in the afterlife and they're gone. So
I didn't know that, actually.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, so that's why they get embalmed, because that's what keeps them alive in the afterlife. But as soon as they die or their name is forgotten, then they're gone.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's their whole religion.
I didn't know that. But I did know they were competitive about what pharaoh did better. Because this pharaoh did this, and that's how they kept their name alive.
I think King Tut's overhyped.
Oh, King Tut overhyped. Is Obama a better president than King Tut?
Yes. Well, because King Tut didn't even do anything.
What?
He died when he was 7. He
take this L. He couldn't hang.
Yeah, couldn't hang. Fell off his horse and died.
Okay, I've already beaten Tut in
dumb
life.
way to die. And then, the only reason why he's so popular is because in modern days they found his tomb. It's the only tomb. I don't think it's the only one, but one of the only tombs that they found untouched. That's why he's so popular.
All he's good at is playing hide and seek. I'm better at hide and seek. I bet you I can hide in the tomb better than him.
He's not even good because he got found.
Yeah, he got found. He couldn't hang. The other pharaohs are looking at him like, you got found, bro.
Supposedly there's a curse now.
On King Tut.
The curse of Tutankhamun.
What?
I don't know what exactly the curse is, but it's if you're the one who opens the...
the one who found him, right?
Yeah, every tomb, I think they all did it with their priests. They all put a curse on it. If you break in, bad stuff happens to you.
I do believe in that kind of shit.
Do you?
Do you believe in karma and curses and shit like that? Not necessarily curses, but karma, I am 100%. I think it bites you.
I do, but in a different way than most people think. It to me, if I went and kicked a cat or something, I would never kick a cat. But if I did kick a cat and then I got hit by a car later, I feel like that's what most people think karma is, because I did something bad. Some other bad things could happen to me. But why I believe in karma is you treat people like crap, and that reflects your character. People see that, now people aren't going to trust you. People are going to treat you different. And that's why I see karma.
So yeah, it definitely is like similar.
Yeah, it's
very
similar, but they have to be connected though. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think two random events are connected because of karma.
I'm the person who believes in the first scenario. But I guess in the situation where it has to be kind of similar, like say I were to kick this table and then it falls apart, and I'm like, well, that's because my dumbass. Fucking, you know,
that's true.
You know, but then I just look at it like that. And karma is one thing I really, you know, kind of stick by. I know I shouldn't do this, but I'll pick up garbage and then I'll throw it away, and then hopefully something will pay me back. And then every time I hope for something to come out of it, nothing happens. But as soon as you do it out of spite, and it becomes second nature, because now I'm trying to just try to pick up whatever.
Well, for me, it's different. It's like I'll pick up garbage or whatever.
Yeah.
But the reason for it isn't for like a reward later.
Yeah.
It's more that I don't want to feel like a bad person
for walking by.
Like that's my reward, is I don't feel guilty.
Yeah, yeah. I almost feel guilty now when I look at the garbage and I don't pick it up.
Or just like, I mean, any bad thing where I could have made a difference and I didn't act on it, I feel so bad. Like, example was I was in Japan on the train with my brother, and it's super early in the morning, and this guy is passed out, like, because he drank last night. He still has his can of alcohol in his hand and stuff. And then there's like a puddle of this gross ass alcohol, and his phone like fell into it, and like I didn't grab it and like take it out and give it to him, because I mean, for one, I didn't want to touch the alcohol and get it all over me, because it was like a fruity one, so it would have been all sticky and stuff. And then I got off the train, and I mean, that was in the summer, and I still feel like an ass because I didn't do it. I still feel guilty.
You really hanging on to that?
Yeah.
Man, that's... Ugh. Man, I totally fucking yawned. That's really fucking crazy. You know, there is sometimes where... Do you ever do things in your head where you're almost proud of yourself for just thinking of it, for not even actually doing it? You're just proud that you did it, like just in your mind.
Yeah.
You're like, man...
I think so.
Yeah, I've done that a couple of times, I feel like. I wish I can give you a perfect example, but it's just sometimes I'll be like, damn, I'm really proud of you for thinking that, Dom, but you didn't do it. Kind of like your phone thing. Like, you're like, damn, I could have done that. It would have been really well, but you didn't end up doing it. And I wish that had a name, and I would definitely, you know, give you a better example if I could think of one, but I'm totally blanking out right now.
No, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things in life I push away, and now it's almost to the point now that picking up things has become second nature. And the reason I'm doing that is just because I know it's better for the people walking around, so they don't want to see garbage, and it makes me feel better. Yeah. You know, as soon as I treated it like that, I felt way better than, oh, I should do this, and then maybe something good will happen to me. When I started doing it for the spite of everyone else, you know, join the campus and prettier campus, it was like, that was a big enough payment for me, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, when you're walking through campus and you see trash, you hate to see it.
Oh yeah.
So like you kind of take that emotion and go, oh, everyone else probably feels the same way. I don't want them to feel that way as well. If I don't like it, they don't either. Yeah,
that's a fucking rant right here. Actually, you know what? Pick up your damn fucking shit, dude. I'm sick and tired of fucking seeing people leave shit around. It's not
true.
There's garbages all over the fucking campus. I don't want to hear, well, you have a backpack, put it in your fucking backpack until you find a garbage can then, dick. Like, get over yourself. Are you cool? Are you too cool to throw your shit away? Oh my God.
The thing that makes me sad is like big cities, like Seattle.
Yep.
It would be like, I don't like Seattle because it smells like pee and there's trash everywhere. But like, if it was clean and everyone was just...
Vancouver is like a cleaner Seattle. Kind of.
It would be great. I would go there all the time, but I'd never go now.
Brock said this perfect. You know, we were in San Francisco. There's all this homeless, and I'm not bagging on homeless. You know, I'm just bagging on what they do. You know, when these homeless were just peeing on the sidewalk, and just Brock, you know, looks over to me and is all, apparently we can just go anywhere. You know, to like, it smells so bad in that area that you're just like, how the hell? And to speak on hygiene, too. Fucking wash your hands when you go to the bathroom.
Oh my God.
I go to the bathroom
every single time. Every time I go to the bathroom, these guys just go to the urinal and then walk out.
You're fucking nasty.
Yeah, it's not like I think in their head they're like, "Would it poop?" You still touched your freaking wang, dude. That's nasty. And they're touching all
disgusting.
the doorknobs, the water fountain,
Your phone. You know, they're
man.
hurting themselves. Okay, you know, you're touching your fucking wang, and you know, and then you're on your phone, and then say I'm like, oh Brian, put your number in my phone. Then you got your dick shit, you know, on your face, and it's just like, it's disgusting. People fucking need to learn it's not hard. It doesn't take too long. It's not a math equation. It's you put soap on your hands, you rub back and forth through your fingers, and then
20 seconds.
20 seconds.
That's all it
sing your
takes.
ABCs if it helps. Wash it, dry them, throw the napkin away. Lord help them. Oh, that's another step. And then you go on your day. No way, man.
It's too much effort.
Too much effort, man.
Well,
you know.
Well, I'm just like, I feel blessed that I grew up with my mom.
Oh, my
I
mom
mean,
was
I was talking
hard
to Dom about this earlier, about my mom being a clean freak, which does get annoying at times because she cleans too much. But at the same time, I'd rather have this extreme. I mean, it's just gross. It's gross how people live.
Oh my God, it's disgusting. And there's a lot of things that people do, like they'll just fucking burp in the middle of like. Dude, burping is disgusting. Like, I remember when I was a kid and I didn't think it was that gross. Now, like, I'm almost thinking burping is, like, worse than,
It
like,
makes me want to
farting.
throw up.
Yeah.
Like the big, like, belches.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just, oh.
I'm like, dude, you couldn't just fucking, or I go, excuse you.
Or people who sneeze and don't, like,
Oh my
even
God.
try to cover. They just go, achoo. Spray it across the whole room. That's why everybody gets sick in college.
Yes.
Because of two assholes in the room.
Two fucking dickheads don't know how to fucking cover their mouth. I don't care. You know, everyone says, oh, cough into your, you know, your elbow. But, you know, I don't care if you don't do that. Just cover your fucking mouth and then wash your hands or something.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's an etiquette, but, dude, can you at least,
There
like,
should be an etiquette.
you know, just
yeah,
in
I either go into the arm
Yeah.
or go into your shirt.
into your
even.
shirt. And it's just like, is it too much to ask for people to use soap? Is it too much to ask to people to clean themselves?
People don't have common courtesy.
Oh.
That's what it comes down to.
Well, here's an argument I've once heard. This is one of the cringiest things I've ever heard. It's like high school. I was like, dude, did you take a fucking shower, bro? Like, I'm sorry. Like, he's all, you know, the people in like the 1500s didn't shower for like 2 weeks. We're not in the 1500s.
Yeah, they
dude.
also all died from the Black Plague.
Yeah, they also died from the Black Plague and they couldn't hang. You know why? Because they didn't wash their fucking ass, dude. Fucking wash yourself. It's not hard. Soap's cheap.
Well, I don't know why people wouldn't shower. I love showers.
I love to smell good. Who doesn't like
That
to smell
too.
good? You know, like, it's a good feeling to smell good, too. And you feel good. Like, when you get out of the shower and you're just like, man, all right, you know, I'm clean.
Fresh.
You
Ready for the
fresh
day.
feeling. And I feel like when I don't, you know, take a shower or even brush my teeth, that's another big one
Mhm.
people don't know how to do either. Deodorant, brushing teeth, common
They
things.
eat like garlic fries and don't brush their teeth. Oh my God.
And you're like, dude, you know, and telling someone about their breath is the hardest thing.
Yeah, I mean, how do you tell someone,
Yeah,
hey man, you
it's-
smell like ass?
It sucks, bro. I've been on the opposite end of it where people have told me that. I'm like,
But you're like, it hurts, but like you're grateful
you're like,
for it.
thank you.
Well, like that's what I'm scared of. Like I'm talking shit about all these guys. No common courtesy.
Yeah.
But I could be doing something
And they're just not
terrible,
telling
and
you.
like I try my best to self-reflect and see if I'm doing anything bad. But I mean, it's hard when you're looking from the inside.
I would definitely tell you, Brian, if you did. I'm sorry, but I,
I
would
appreciate
have to.
that.
But
No,
I
don't.
would.
I
would
want you
expect.
to.
I would expect the same thing from you. Just
I will.
not in front of everyone. I won't be like, "Hey, Brian, your fucking breath stink, bro." I'll be like,
that's a dick.
"That's a
move.
dick move." I'll be like, "Bro, you need to look at some like new toothpaste or something, bro." You know, there's extra mint stuff. You know, there's gum. That's a big reason why I always chew gum. I'm a big gum chewer, dude. I really love chewing gum.
I love gum just because when I'm bored, it's just something to do.
Yeah, and it does make me a lot hungrier though.
Does it?
Yeah, I will chew gum and I will be like, fuck, I'm hungry now. And I get it. It totally makes sense. It's like a psychological trick.
Yeah, I mean, your mind connects chewing with food.
It's like, oh, you're chewing something, and I'm like, I'm not. And it's just, it's always really cool to have like good smelling breath to me. And I always make sure I get like the fucking mintiest shit. I get Dentine Ice. That's what I chew. Not a plug, not a sponsor.
I'm more of a Big Five.
You're a Big Five guy? You like the
Yeah.
cinnamon? I love cinnamon gum too.
No, I like the cobalt one, the blue one. It's just mint.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just really love mint gum, dude. It's something about having like fresh breath or something.
Yeah, I used to like when I was a kid, like I wanted juicy fruit and stuff.
Yep, me too.
But now that I'm older, I enjoy the taste of mint more.
Yeah, me too. Juicy fruit for 2 seconds was good.
Yeah,
and then
the 2 seconds of flavor before you're chewing flavorless.
Don't even get me started on flavored gum. You know the 7, the one, the zebra one.
Oh, Fruit Stripes.
Fruit Stripes. That shit was
that.
half a second of flavor, and it tasted.
I mean, it tastes pretty good.
Yeah, and then it tasted like rubber.
Dude, I'd eat a whole pack of Fruity Stripes in one sitting because one would run out of flavor. Oh, just give it a boost.
Yeah, a boost, and you have like this
20
wad.
strips later, yeah, my jaw hurts.
Dude, I remember in 5th grade we had a gum eating contest, and I had like 25. Dude, I was such an idiot in 5th grade. I chewed like 25 fucking pieces of gum. My mouth hurt. You know when you've been eating, like when you're just like chewing on like a super well done steak and your jaw almost hurts?
Golden Corral.
Think of that like times 5 or times 10. And I was just like, dude, I'm going to have arthritis in my jaw when I'm 5th grade. God, man. 5th grade was a fun time, dude. I learned a lot of things in 5th grade. There's a lot of things that actually stem from 5th grade to now, actually. My mom listened to a lot of music, to tie this back into music, sad music, Usher kind of songs and all this R&B songs. And that's primarily what I listen to when I'm on the aux and stuff. And I looked at it, remember when I said things go as far back as when you're a baby. I'm like, wow, dude, I was kind of talking to my therapist. And I listened to this kind of music because I thought that was okay to go listen to sad type of music, even when you're going through a good thing. Like
it is.
You know what I mean?
I think it is.
Like,
I mean, I like sad boy music. I'm not necessarily sad.
Yeah.
But my mind doesn't really connect the dots there.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people when they hear like I don't know, some Drake song, or actually Marvin's Room, that still makes me sad.
Oh yeah.
But
little Drakey. He a little creep. He's kind of a creep. Go on.
But yeah, any sad music now that comes out, like X or Trippie Redd or something like that, a lot of people, when I play it, they go, "Who hurt you, man?
Yeah.
Like, you okay?"
About to cry.
But that's what I listen to on a daily basis. I love R&B. I love sad music.
There's something about it, and who knows what it stems from. It's just good music. I'm a lyricist too. Like I will just, there is one genre I don't really listen to, and that's country. I'm not saying country's bad. I'm just saying it's just not what I listen to.
I like 10 country songs. Probably.
Yeah.
I have a playlist of the 10 songs I like. And I get why people like it. It's not my thing. But the one that I really can't get into is trap.
Trap.
Migos, dude, I can't listen to Migos. I can't do it. I can't listen.
When they feature on stuff, it ain't too bad.
Yeah, it's not the worst. But, I mean, really, I just don't like the new generation of hip hop or whatever.
So what do you consider trap?
Anything.
Who is it? Well, like the top 5 Migos.
I don't know if I can name 5.
Do you consider Uzi trap?
I think Lil Uzi isn't, because he kind of sings in his rap.
Okay. What about Fetty?
He also sings in his rap, so I wouldn't say him.
Some people consider those guys trap. That's why I ask.
Oh, okay. In that case, I could do that.
Yeah.
But the thing that bugs me a lot is rap songs that have the background voices.
Oh, Panda. You don't like Designer.
Yeah, I don't like Designer. I don't like Future.
21 Savage.
I don't.
Is he rap? I think he's rap, though.
Yeah.
I don't like him, but I mean.
The first time I heard him, I was like, he's got a cool voice. It's all deep. But that guy mumbles the whole time.
Yeah,
he doesn't actually rap. But I think what it is that makes me like R&B, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I enjoy the voice of the artist over the beats and like the cool bass drop and stuff like that.
Yes.
So even though the songs could be considered sad, like there's so many artists out there with such beautiful voices, and it doesn't even have to be a singer, like rappers too. Like, I don't know, Chance the Rapper, for one.
Beautiful music.
His voice is,
I love Chance the Rapper.
Amazing. I know this isn't a popular opinion, but XXX Tentacion I think
Away with the politics, his music.
away from all the stuff outside of his music. I personally, he has the best rap voice in my opinion. I know.
Yeah, there's no.
Like,
It's
I'm
your
not saying
opinion.
that's a fact. That's an opinion. That's my opinion. But yeah, it's beautiful, and that's why I like sad music.
The thing is with me with music is my favorite thing is when they can combine both female and male vocals.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I love that shit. My favorite song, and I know a lot of people. This is really unfair to ask someone, "What's your favorite song?"
That
You could
is
say what
unfair
your
to
favorite
ask.
song is right now, and it's way easier to answer.
I have. Yeah, I usually like to answer two ways: my all-time favorite
Yep.
and then my current favorite.
Yep. My all-time favorite song is "Into You" by Tamia and Fabulous. That's my all-time. I will listen to that when I'm happy, when I'm sad. I love that. And then probably "Pursuit of Happiness" right below that. And then also "Hope" by Twista combines rap and a female's voice.
Yeah.
And then also what I love what people do is when they incorporate background vocals like Chance does with "Blessings."
Mm-hmm.
I really love when he could get an orchestra,
It's beautiful.
It's
and like,
beautiful.
if
I
you
love
hear
that
that
about
stuff
music.
live too.
Oh my
it's
God.
amazing. Anderson .Paak does that too.
Does
like
he?
Live bands. Yeah.
I need to listen to him.
Sounds so good. Yeah, I went to the J. Cole concert
Did he open for him?
2 years ago. Yeah, he opened for him. It was awesome.
Damn, that's Thomas really likes Anderson .Paak.
Mhm.
He's a really big Anderson .Paak guy, and for the longest time, I thought he was white.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not just saying, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna listen because he's white, but it's just because his name sounded white.
Yeah.
You know what
but
I mean?
As soon as I hear his voice, he's got too much funk to be white.
Now I look, and then I listen. After I saw a picture of him, I'm like, how did I correlate those two? Why am I doing that? It's
Yeah.
subconscious. I just fucking love music, man. It's done so much for me. It brings in good things, brings in bad things, and that's what I love about it. It makes you feel not alone.
What's I know you just named your like favorite songs.
Yeah.
But what's your favorite, like, not necessarily new, but I mean in the last, I don't know, 3 years maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite song?
Like a new one?
Yeah.
So like it
Like-
has to be released within the last 3 years?
Yeah. I mean I'm
Fuck.
not super strict about it. Just like one of the artists that's like mainstream now, or not necessarily mainstream, but
My
in
favorite
their
artist of all time?
It's Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi is Chance the Rapper, Childish Gambino. If I were to put the last 3 years.
I love Childish Gambino.
I loved Waken My Love's album.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fantastic album. I listened to that album on repeat as I was a delivery driver over here. God, there was some, I could tell go on about that too. But music, that album is very soulful. I really like
Yeah.
that. And it was very guitar heavy. And I started playing guitar 2 years ago. And ever since playing guitar, it made me appreciate it a little more.
Yeah,
I hear it in the background louder.
I definitely can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Like I was saying before, I was in band, and I've always hated concert band. I don't like classical music, and my parents get mad at me for me saying this every time, but it literally gives me a headache. I hate concert music, and like that was like a big reason why I quit band. But what I did love is my saxophone. I still to this day, I still love that thing. I love jazz band. I love jazz music, and I think it's so underappreciated. So when I hear artists like use that, like for example, like Kendrick, like I'm not a huge Kendrick fan. I know I get a lot of hate for
Kendrick's my dog.
But
I wish Thomas is on here to explain that.
even though I'm not a biggest Kendrick fan,
Yeah.
he in To Pimp a Butterfly, he uses jazz beats in the background. It sounds really good.
It's amazing. So you hate concert music. You mean like the first chairs and
Like
second chairs and
Mozart,
stuff like
Beethoven.
that. So do you hate the Star Wars soundtrack? Because that's all. Because that's all pretty. That would you say that's?
Well, but the difference with that though is it's like it's connected with the Star Wars movies. I'll always put them hand to hand.
Okay.
So I don't think I ever could hate it.
Yeah. So if there was no Star Wars, just say there's a world without Star Wars, would we be here? Would you not like that song? Or that
I would say those songs are a lot more exciting than what we know as classical music. Like I'm talking like the OGs, the
They
first
definitely
guys
changed
to do
it.
it.
They
Yeah,
definitely changed it.
definitely more exciting, like louder. They do better with their crescendos.
I
Do you
think
guys know what that means?
I kind of do.
It's like you get louder as you go, so it's like
Oh,
yeah.
I think soundtracks play a huge part in movies.
Yes.
I think it's very underrated to have a good soundtrack to an average viewer of a movie. Forrest Gump has it's one of my favorite movies based on the soundtrack. One of the main reasons. I really liked Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack.
I loved shit, I just spaced.
Yeah, you kind of spaced me out too.
I definitely. Oh, I remember now. I know I was just talking about it bad about Kendrick again, but the Black Panther movie, the soundtrack
that had a very good soundtrack.
That album that he made was great. I mean, I love Khalid and I love The Weeknd, so those two songs in there, so good. And I like Sway Lee also.
That's why I liked Chances and Gambino song, two of my favorite artists.
Yeah,
and they did favorite song back on Acid Rap, and I know it wasn't a movie or nothing, and that's kind of sidebarring. But that was a fantastic song. When you could see like two people you really love to listen to and they do a song and you like it, it's even better.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, this doesn't really sound like him because they're trying to incorporate his sound and it don't really work out sometimes.
Yeah, they just don't mix.
But sometimes it could work out.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big reason why I listen to songs that have both girl and guy voices, because one, I could listen to it with a girl and they could sing the girl parts and
karaoke.
Yeah, karaoke or something. And then two, it makes me appreciate the guy's voice and they're mastering using both notes of the voices.
Yeah. And
I know guys can hit highs and I know girls can hit lows, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and like it's kind of like in a choir, you got your, I don't remember
baritones,
the soprano, the alto, like all that.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just go perfectly together. Usually they sing in like either the same note just with a different octave, or they do a chord together. I mean, you can't do a chord with two people, but you get what I'm saying. It sounds so good together. And when you can, and like you said, guys can also hit high notes, girls can hit lower notes too. But usually guys tend to have that raspiness.
Yeah.
Personally, I love that in a singer's voice.
Yeah.
To me, it's so soothing and calm. And then also when girls can hit a high note without it sounding,
like
not
breaking
screechy,
glass.
but like, yeah, it's still smooth, but it's super high pitched still. If that makes any sense.
It's beautiful. Music is fucking awesome. It's done so much for me. If you were to say, what's your favorite genre then? Would you say R&B? If you were to nail it in the coffin right now and say like, all right,
yeah,
for the next week you can only listen to this music.
Because the two main genres I listen to is hip hop and R&B, and a lot of my hip hop is like a mix of R&B. So yeah, it would be R&B.
Would you say hip hop is a big thing in our generation? Because it influences a lot of shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of the music stems off from each other.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember the exact chronological order, but like blues came from
I know what you mean.
Hip hop came from blues, or R&B came from blues, and then hip hop came from R&B.
Yeah.
Like that. So they're all very similar sounding.
Trap came from rap.
Yeah, but like we're living through the change in sound of music, and it's really cool to hear. And I want to say that I love that, but I haven't been very impressed with music recently.
Don't get me started on this last year's music, man. This last 2018 let me down with some music for the hip hop industry. I'm not an expert. I haven't listened to everything, but from what I've heard and what I've seen, I wasn't too taken away from it.
Yeah.
Mainly because my ass is fucking stuck in early 2000s and I haven't got out of that.
That's true. I like a lot of my artists, and I
stay with them for a long time.
Yeah, and I try to branch out, especially as some of my artists I've been actually losing like interest in with their new stuff. Like, I hate to say this because one of my favorite rappers, if not my favorite rapper, is J. Cole.
Yeah.
Huge Born Sinner and Forest Hill Drives fan. Those two albums will always have a special place in my heart. And he still makes good music, don't get me wrong, but his new album, KOD, compared to one of those, it doesn't meet the expectations that I set for him.
Oh, yeah, because you're going to set him for the sky.
Yeah, which isn't fair to J. Cole, but Man, I miss those albums. They are so good.
Dude, it's one of those things where you sit down and you just like, when you love an artist so much and you could just listen to the full album,
Mm-hmm.
is when you truly know that you fuck with that music. Like with Kid Cudi, I'm able to do that. Chance, I'm able to do that. And Childish Gambino. And those are really the only three I could really... And, obviously old classic rock, I could do that a lot with too. But it's so cool to see like how we connect ourselves to music.
Yeah. Well, has
by
music
one
ever
sentence
like...
or by a beat.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's
Sorry,
ridiculous.
I've interrupted you.
I was gonna ask, have you ever, like, has music ever gotten you through a
Oh.
bad time, or
Oh
maybe
my God.
maybe it's what caused a good time? Like,
Yes, actually, it's been very therapeutic. I could sit down and listen to stuff and be at peace. And there's also sometimes when you're feeling really sad, and like I've been very sad at many moments in my life, and being able to sit down and put a song of, an Usher song,
Mhm.
a very sad song, and he's basically describing he's gone through the same thing, and it's very comforting to go like, oh man, like Usher, man, he had it bad. I guess I don't got it that bad either, It's super soothing to say, this person I look up to and this person I listen to music to and I look up to in social media, and they have it all figured out, went through the same shit I'm going through. It's very motivating.
yeah.
And it's made moments worse where I'm like, fuck, you feel so alone. And I think that's why I've become such a big Kid Cudi fan, is because his music is kind of there to be there for someone who was feeling alone. And he said that in his music, and it really stuck to me. But yes, definitely, if a good song is on at a party and I'm feeling it, it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Like when we were at New Year's and I walked into the party and I was like, who the fuck is on the aux cord, dude? Let me get the aux. Like, this is some bullshit. No offense to whoever was playing music, but they just, they put it on and, they just put it to play. Let me get the aux, dude. I'm going to get this place at least saying, hey, it's, and then there's some, like I said, it brings good emotion. Like, what the fuck? What's this? To, man, this is super cool. Or old people going, hey, what you know about this, young blood? It's super cool. I love that about music. What about you? Do you have moments like that where you
Yes.
totally just say, man, I need to listen to that song right now. Get me to get this last rep in.
Mhm.
Get me to get a cry in. Does it happen to you?
Yeah, I feel like there's three emotions I get from music. One is when I'm sad, and I actually listen to sad music because I'm sad. It helps me a lot. Same thing that you said. I know Neo helped me through a hard time.
Oh,
Khalid
yes.
helped me through a hard time with The Weeknd. And just, I don't know, you just don't feel alone anymore. It feels good. And then the other thing, like you said, for workout music, there are some special songs that I have in a playlist that if I need it or I'm going for super heavy rep or something, I'm going to blast that full volume. It gets me hyped and pumped. And it's crazy how much emotion it can give you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm an animal.
There's nostalgic factor to it, too, because you look at it, because I know I do a lot of things when I'm working
Yeah.
out. I'm like, damn, I listened to this when I played basketball senior year. And it makes you think of all these
Mhm.
basketball things and all these memories. And the song's not even about those memories, but since you listen to it during those times, there's a lot of there honestly, and it goes the other way too. There's some songs I can't listen to because it reminds me of bad times or good times I had that I no longer have. That's the worst.
That hits me. Right,
Yeah.
because I have one song. It's "The Boys of Fall"
Okay.
by Kenny Chesney,
Okay.
and we would play that like every day at the beginning of football practice. And like, I don't want to sound like the kid that like peaked in high school,
Yeah.
but
Nobody
'cause
does.
I hope I didn't.
Yeah.
But
We like to all think we didn't.
like when I hear that song, like I actually want to cry. Like, I'm not making that. Like, I literally get tears in my eyes.
How come?
Because it just connects to a good memory, like you said, but it's something that's not in your life anymore.
Yes.
And like, I mean, part of it is happy, like a happy tear of joy, but you're also sad at the same time. It's a weird mixture, but man, I cannot listen to that song.
There's songs out there in the world that you're just, like you just said, they're sad. They're happy. They could be like, it could be the song "Happy" by is it Ella Black?
Pharrell?
Pharrell. It could be "Happy" by Pharrell, and you could have gotten fired that
got
day, and you're like,
dumped
I don't want to. Yeah, you could have
with that
gotten
song,
dumped
but-
that by that song, and you don't want to fucking listen to that. But there is times where I have opened the vaults of, I have some songs that I don't listen to. There's some Fleetwood Mac songs I won't listen to. And it really channels that fucking shit, man. That was fun, but it's no longer.
I couldn't listen to Coaster.
Coaster by Khalid.
By Khalid.
Oh.
For so long, because that song was like word for word
What
like
you were going
my
through?
life. Yeah,
Oh,
at the time. And
that's the worst one.
dude, when I heard it,
Yeah.
because I listened to it before, but I never like took the lyrics to heart, because I wasn't sad at the time.
Yeah.
And then when I was sad and I listened to the lyrics,
You're like,
I was just
damn, lost for words.
I was broken, man. Like I was just like, holy.
Have you cried to that
shit.
song? Could you
No
admit
comment.
no comment to that? I have definitely. What the thing
Real
is,
men cry.
what the real thing I've done is I've tortured myself into the point where I opened that vault, like I just said, and I just let the emotion happen, and then I try to go, okay, get over it. But fuck, dude, when that strum happens on that song, or whenever that note hits, I'm like, why am I listening to this? Why am I torturing myself?
Yeah, like what's the point?
What is the point of living in disparity when you don't have to? And I was like, why am I listening to this song?
But you can break through it, because
Yes.
let me tell you, and a part of it is you have to be over what causes the pain. But I love Coaster. I love that song.
Yeah.
I listen to it all the time now.
Oh yeah, I love the songs I listened to. When they were fresh in my mind of after things that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to listen to it. Now it's like when it's on the radio or something, I'm like, okay, it's more of like, damn, this is just a good song.
Yeah.
That's what I treat it as now, rather than the memory. Because, the song wasn't meant for your memory. I mean, it was meant to do whatever you want with it and interpret it. But, don't think of it in a negative way if it's, you don't need to. And that's a lot of things about music. And that's a lot about things in general, really. And I'm glad we were able to talk about music, because music's been a great thing I've been able to. I can go on.
One of the most important things in my life.
Would you go 1 week without music? Could you?
I don't think I could.
You don't think you could?
What would I do? Because, like, when I wake up in the
Yeah.
morning, like, I take my shower, and then while I'm, like, getting ready for school, I'm playing music. When I'm making breakfast, I'm playing music.
When you're walking around on campus?
Yeah, when I walk around campus, I'm playing music. When I'm going to the gym, I'm playing music. When I go to bed, I play music before I go to bed.
You don't think you could do it?
No.
Dude, that was a project I thought I would want to do, and then I did
What's
that.
the point, man?
I did this. I was like, why do I have to? Why am I torturing myself? Why am I doing that? Because, like you said, as soon as I get up, I have to play music to kind of go, all right, let's get up, walk around campus. I can't walk around campus without music.
Oh, when I study, I have to do music as well.
You have to have music. What kind of music do you listen to?
Okay, I know you're not supposed to listen to, like, regular music.
Yeah.
You're supposed to listen to classical
Yeah.
music. You already know that I hate that. But I try to listen to, well, the good thing about liking R&B is it's
Slow.
yeah. So there's this guy that I've never heard of that I found like a month ago. His name's Coda the Friend.
Okay.
He's actually good. His name's just dumb. But his music is super slow. Like, I'm talking the background's almost like elevator music.
Damn.
Like, but it's actually jazz.
Okay.
Which, like I said, I love jazz. That's why I like this guy so much. And his voice is super soothing. So I always listen to him while
Does
I'm
it
studying.
help? Do you notice a difference?
Yes and no. Because I'm not going to lie and say that the music helps me retain information. Because if anything, it hurts it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't have the music, I get bored faster.
Yeah,
So then
get
I
that.
stop studying. So, I mean, it's good and bad. But I do think that the pros outweigh the cons.
I definitely do that with a YouTube channel. It's called Hip Hop and like R&B Beats, and I turn it down really like low, and it helps me a lot. But then there's also sometimes where I feel like, hey, is this helping me or is it not helping me?
You just gotta rap the textbook to the beats.
Yeah,
while you're doing that. I've done it before. I hate to admit, it works,
dude.
Because you're actually thinking about the words that you're saying and like the flow.
Damn. I'm gonna have to start.
Try it out.
I guess we'll have to start. We'll do a rap next episode.
Freestyle
of
on the podcast.
history books. Dude, I've seen some funny fucking things with music though. I saw this ketchup and mustard rap battle video, and it was. I'll send it to you after this.
Oh, I can't wait.
But it was super funny, dude. And is there anything else that you want anyone else to know about what you've been obsessed. What have you? Yeah. Before we end the show, what are you obsessed with right now?
Obsessed with?
Yeah, song, food, TV show. What is it? A person? What are you obsessed with right now?
This is kind of going a little bit back into last episode.
Okay.
But self-growth.
Okay.
A lot.
So like self-improvement kind of stuff?
Yeah, so for me, like the thing that I've always battled, and we also talked about this in the beginning of this podcast, but like is, not wanting to fuck up, like being scared to be yourself. And like I have improved so much from like if you ever met like I don't know middle school Brian, even early high school Brian, like I would not say a word. I would just sit at my desk, do my own thing, and it's hard for me to come out of my shell, or it was. And now like I feel like I'm making strides. Like I'm more confident by the day, and a lot of that is from like research that I've done on like YouTube and stuff like that. Just like self-help, meditation helps a lot. And just learning how the human mind works too.
It's interesting.
The way that I know I'm ranting a little bit, but the way that the human mind works with like habits, how you train your mind to do things unconsciously. And I mean that's kind of like my problem was unconsciously while I was in class and I should have raised my hand. In my head, I'd automatically think, oh, everyone's going to think you're stupid. Like I just feel self-conscious, like automatically. And I've learned that you have to fight it. And every time you fight it, every time you beat that voice in your head telling you not to do something, you win. You're training your mind and your body to do things, to fight fear. And yeah, that's what I'm obsessed with. I'm obsessed with beating fear so I can reach my goals in life.
That's so cool, dude, because I wish a lot of people would have that attitude. I started that attitude of who the fuck cares if I look dumb? And when I first started at EVCC, and I was very scared. I was in like the beginning English course. There's high schoolers in there that were going to look at me like I'm this older guy that don't even know what he's talking about. And I just said, fuck it, dude. You know what? I'm on my own race. Stay in your damn lane is the episode something we highlighted last episode. And now I like if I don't get something, it's so refreshing to just say, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And that's super cool that you're able to do that because I know even when I first met you, you even said you were working on being more social, and we would go we'd go play basketball together. And I've seen so much more communication from you just in the basketball terms, and I could apply that to real world too with you, that it's helped. Not basketball, but just like the social interaction.
Still bad at basketball.
Nobody's perfect at basketball, especially over here. It's super cool to see how much self-improvement has helped people who acknowledge it. A lot of people like to push it to the side. Well, I'm only 21.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing. And like I always talk about self-reflection, but like you need to stop, look at yourself, look at what your goals are, how to get there, and you have to execute. And I know, like you said, a lot of people like to push it off. They like to wait till New Year's to start their new goals. Like you just got to do it.
Yeah, just fucking do the thing you want to do in life. Have the conversation with the person who's holding you back and do it.
Or just have a conversation with a friend who can
yourself?
Keep you accountable. Yeah, and like I don't. For me, I just the point that made me want to make a change is just like I was so fed up of looking back in my life and looking at how many opportunities that I just threw away because I was too scared, or I was on a date with a girl and I'm just too nervous or like shy and like just stupid stuff like that. And there's no reason to.
Yeah.
And
you're 20 years old.
Yeah, make a change now, or you're just gonna keep teaching your mind that it's okay not to fix yourself.
As soon as you stop living in regret too, that's when I've noticed things get way better.
Yeah.
And like I was just talking to you before the show, there's scenarios and things that you're like, what if I would have done that? Mm-hmm. What if I would have held her hand? What if I would have helped that old lady cross the street? What if I would have not gotten sour cream on my burrito and I wouldn't have gotten food poisoning? You can't live in a life of regret, and that's what self-improvement does. It makes you go, you know what? I didn't do that, and that's how it went. And maybe in some other fucking timeline or some other thing, that's how it goes. But you know what? I'm doing good. And like right now, I'm pretty sure meditation is nothing but helping that for you.
And that's one of the biggest things I can recommend to people. Like, if you don't know how to meditate, it's YouTube it. There's a bunch of tutorials that are super helpful. That's how I learned. I mean, really what it is it's just the realization of, it's self-awareness. It's noticing that you're living in the present. And what that does is that kind of gets you out of that autopilot mode where, you're just kind of living your life on this schedule every single day, same thing. And it's hard to improve when you're doing the same thing every day. You don't realize the flaws in your life, or even worse, in your mind, you just think that it's impossible to change.
And that's what's hurtful to people, to think it's, man, well, I have to do this. No, you don't, bro. You know, it take
so much
21
freedom.
times to develop a habit?
Something like that, yeah.
At 5 a.m. and get shit done 21 times. It's going to be, you're going to develop a healthy habit. Not all habits are bad.
And then on top of that, like if you learn one habit, it's almost exponential because you see how you taught yourself that and how it becomes a part of your life. And now you start thinking, oh, what other good habit can I implement? And I know right now there's a bunch of habits I'm trying to teach myself right now. Stretch every day. I'm super inflexible. Drink more water. I've never drank enough water, so I'm working on that habit right now. And add a new habit every month. You live till you're 60 or whatever.
You got a lot of habits.
You're gonna be a really good person.
Yeah, you'll be the most interesting man in the world.
That's right.
You know, to end the show on like a cool thing I learned when I was, a couple years ago. I was actually on Joe Rogan's podcast. When you learn something, so like when, in Karate Kid, when he's learning how to do kung fu and he's learning on karate, it's karate.
Are we talking about the new one? Or
the old one.
Okay, because the new one is kung fu. It's weird.
Oh, it is. That's why I got mixed up. So in the old Karate Kid, when he was first learning karate, he's like, all right, we'll learn. You got to paint the fence. You got to wax on, wax off. And he's like, what the fuck, man? This is bullshit. But then when you look at it, when you do things like that, it does nothing, like you said, but exponential growth.
Trust the process.
Because then you learn those habits, like he was learning wax on, wax off, and then you transform it into something more glorified as karate. And look where that got him. And that started with doing simple things. Learn simple things, and those very well could go into bigger things in life.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Like when you first start out, it's obviously the hardest. You're going against what your brain normally does. You need to have small victories. So like as an incentive. So set your goals low at first. Like, I don't know, maybe if you wanted to start working out more, maybe go to the gym
3 times a week.
Yeah, 3 times a week starting out. And after a couple weeks, maybe bump it up to 4, then 5. And if you really are into it, you could do 6.
Yeah, it's super. I wish people would. I can't say wish people because I want to start waking up earlier. I want to wake up at 5, go to work, go work out, and then go to class, and then not worry about it. But it's hard to do that shit. My brain is conditioned to want to sleep until 9, but I want to train it. So
that's actually another habit. I'm trying to wake up earlier too.
We should.
Probably 6.
You know what we should do? We should wake up tomorrow morning and go to the gym at 5.
You know what? We're setting an example. To the viewers.
I'll put it on the Instagram story, and I'll even pick you up.
Deal.
Okay, we'll do it. I'm shaking your hand. We're going to the gym at 5 in the morning tomorrow. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. This has been episode 2 of the Dom Joseph podcast here with Brian Bordonaro. Where can people find you, Brian?
Board and arrow, like I'm bored, on Twitter. And then board and arrow, like a wooden board, on Snapchat and Instagram.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for listening. And if you guys ever have any questions for the show, please send them into the podcast. If you guys want us to say something, I don't care what it is. Do you believe
literally
in aliens?
Anything.
I don't care. Do you have 10 toes, Dom? I kind of want to know. Just let us know. So thanks again. It's been the 16th of January. This is 2019. Have a great one.